Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a public hearing on Bill 12-19, Human Rights and Civil Liberties, Building Maintenance Worker, Minimum Work Week. This bill will require certain employers in the county to provide certain building maintenance workers with a minimum work week, provide enforcement by the Office of Human Rights and the Human Rights Commission, authorize the Human Rights Commission to award certain relief, and generally regulate the minimum work week for certain workers in the county. An HHS committee work session is tentatively scheduled for Monday, June 24th. Persons wishing to submit additional material for the council's consideration should do so before the close of business, June 19th, so that your views can be included in the material which staff will prepare for the committee's consideration. If you would like to follow the progress of a council bill, the council website has a subscribe function. Go to the council website and use the View Council Records and Legislative Updates link to learn how. And so for our first group, we have James Stowe, Jessica Morales, Alexandra Borges, Miriam Pineda, Marilyn Balcom, and Maria Naranjo. Mr. Stowe is not here. I don't see him. Okay. So we'll start with Jessica Morales, and there's a button at the base of the microphone. Thank you.
Ante todo, buenas tardes.
Above all, good afternoon.
Mi nombre es Jessica Morales, vivo en la ciudad de Germantown y trabajo como limpiadora de oficinas acá en Rockville.
My name is Jessica Morales. I live in Germantown, and I work cleaning offices in Rockville.
Me toca limpiar edificios como el 1600, 1630, 1650 y 1441 de la Research Boulevard.
I have to clean buildings such as 1600, 1630, 1650, and 1441 on Research Boulevard.
Aparte de eso, soy madre soltera, tengo 4 niños, tengo un niño discapacitado que me toca cuidar de él.
Besides that, I'm a single mother with 4 children, one of them disabled, whom I have to take care of.
Y así como están las cosas, pues pienso que un trabajo de tiempo completo nos beneficiaría a todas las madres como yo.
And given how hard things are, I think that a full-time job would benefit all of us single mothers.
A veces cuando vienen los biles, me toca pensar y saber cómo voy a hacer porque un trabajo part-time no es muy suficiente para mí o para las otras madres.
When bills come, I struggle thinking how I'm going to do it to pay all those bills because a part-time job is not enough for people like me and for other mothers like me.
Mi motivación para luchar por un horario completo es la única manera en que mejoraría mi situación.
So I'm very motivated to fight for a full-time job. I see it as the only solution to overcome all these obstacles.
Ahora mismo tengo que usar el Medicaid.
Right now, I use Medicaid.
Pero si tuviéramos un tiempo completo, sería mejor porque nuestro empleador nos proporcionaría un plan de salud.
But if we had a full-time job, that would be better because then we would get a paid health insurance through our employer.
Creo que como madre de 4 hijos, creo que merecemos, pues trabajamos muy duro y en labores agobiantes.
And I think as a mother of 4 children, we deserve something like that because we work very hard doing very, very hard jobs.
Le rogamos, me gustaría que por favor nos ayudarían a que la ley de tiempo completo se nos diera.
So I ask you to please consider this bill a full-time job bill would really help us.
Gracias por su tiempo.
Thank you for your time.
Muchas gracias. Alexandra Borges. Hay un botón ahí en la base. Ajá.
Muy buena tarde.
Good afternoon.
Mi nombre es Alexandra Burgos.
My name is Alexandra Burgos.
Soy trabajadora de limpieza de Silver Spring, Maryland.
¿De dónde? Silver Spring, dijo?
Silver Spring, Maryland.
Okay, so I work as a janitor in Silver Spring.
Estamos aquí porque muchos de nosotros estamos luchando porque nuestro trabajo solo es de medio tiempo.
We're here because many of us are struggling because our jobs are only part-time.
Es muy difícil para mí porque tengo que cuidar a mi esposo que está enfermo.
It's particularly hard for me because I have to take care also of my husband who is sick.
Esto significa que no puedo tomar un segundo empleo,
This means I can't take a second job.
pero un horario de tiempo completo me haría de mucha diferencia.
But a full-time job would make a great difference.
Como por ejemplo, me permitiría cuidar a mi esposo y me ayudaría económicamente.
For example, it would allow me to take care of my husband and it would help me economically, financially.
Y lo más importante, que podría tener un seguro de salud pagado por el empleador.
Most importantly, I would be able to have health insurance paid for by my employer.
Porque en estos momentos no tengo seguro médico.
Right now, I don't have medical insurance.
En ocasiones tengo que ir a la República Dominicana para ver a mi médico.
On occasions, I have to go to the Dominican Republic to see a doctor.
No sé qué pasará si tengo alguna emergencia en este país.
I don't know what would happen if I had an emergency in this country.
Mi esposo es discapacitado y no puede trabajar.
My husband is disabled and he can't work.
Y hay que pagar nuestra factura y con un horario de medio completo me es imposible.
We have to pay for our bills, and with a part-time job, it's impossible.
Mi esposo es veterano militar de los Estados Unidos
My husband is a U.S. veteran,
y merece esta lucha.
and he deserves better than this struggle.
Yo sé que muchos de ustedes también están pasando por lo mismo.
I know that many of you are going through the same thing,
Y por eso me uno a la 32BJ para apoyar el futsal. Muchísimas gracias.
and that's why I joined 32BJ in support of a full-time job. Thank you.
Gracias, señora Burgos. Miriam Pineda.
Mi nombre es Miriam Pineda, buenas tardes.
My name is Miriam Pineda. Good afternoon.
No, ya la apagaste.
No, tiene que estar en rojo.
Tiene que prenderla, ahí está.
Ya está prendido. Soy una madre soltera, el único sustento para mis nietos que viven conmigo, pero es extremadamente difícil si solo trabajamos medio tiempo.
I am a single mother and also the single support for my grandchildren, and it's very hard to do working part-time.
Es muy difícil porque ya soy una persona de mayor edad. Estoy atrasada en mis pagos por solo tener part-time. No tenemos seguro médico.
It's hard for me because I only work part-time and I'm an older person, and it's also difficult because we don't have health insurance.
No me puedo hacer un chequeo por no tener los beneficios.
I'm not able to have checkups because I don't have health benefits.
Necesito además hacerme pruebas para ver si tenemos cáncer. He puesto mi fe en Dios para conseguir seguro de salud.
I need to have cancer tests, but so far all I've been able to do is put my faith in God, since we don't have health insurance.
Me hace feliz de pensar cómo se beneficiarían mis colegas de trabajo con esta ley.
It makes me happy to think how my colleagues, my coworkers would benefit if we were able to have this bill pass.
Un horario de tiempo completo representaría un mundo de diferencia.
A full-time job would make a world of difference.
Significaría que tendríamos más dinero para ayudar a poner al día mis cuentas y brindar estabilidad y salud, claro. Muchas gracias.
It would mean that it would provide for more money to help me pay for my bills and to provide stability for my family and to have health insurance. Thank you.
Gracias, señora Pineda. Marilyn Backham.
Madam President, council members, my name is Marilyn Balcom with the Gaithersburg Germantown Chamber of Commerce. We have great concerns with Bill 1219. While this bill will have positive impacts for some employees, it will have many more negative impacts. Every piece of literature you read on creating family-friendly workplace suggests that offering part-time schedules is one of the easiest, most effective ways an employer can support employees and their families. This legislation is the complete opposite of the general trend towards more family-friendly policies. By requiring full-time schedules, this legislation takes Montgomery County backwards. Employers are no longer able to offer this choice benefit. More importantly, affected employees will no longer have the choice of working less than 30 hours a week. There will clearly be winners and losers with this legislation. Impacted businesses will restructure their operations and fewer people will be employed. It's basic math. If it takes 600 hours to clean a building, that's how long it takes. This bill doesn't change that. So if a cleaning contractor has 30 employees working 20 hours a week to clean a building, this legislation will change that complement to 20 employees working 30 hours a week. That may be great for the people whose hours are increased, but not so great for the people who lose their jobs. There are many industries that use part-time staff as a legitimate function of their operations. If the real motivation behind this bill is to make health care more accessible to people working part-time, the parameters of this bill seem arbitrary. This bill unfairly targets one specific industry, asking them to pay employees for more hours than is operationally necessary. If this bill was applied to all part-time workers in the county, including your staff, you would no longer be able to hire part-time employees, regardless of whether that was the best scenario for your office. We fundamentally do not believe that the county should have functional control over how many hours a private employer is required to pay a private employee if there's no operational reason to do so. I encourage you to vote no on this bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're now going to move on to, Maria Naranjo.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Council President Navarro and council members. My name is Maria Naranjo. I am the Deputy Director and longtime union activist for 26 years, living here in Montgomery County and been working with janitorial workers in Montgomery County, Washington, D.C., and Maryland. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today. Our union represents 20,000 property services workers in this area, from janitors to security officers to airport workers, and we represent the vast majority of commercial office cleaners here in Montgomery County. One policy challenge facing America right now is how we transform our economy into one that delivers for working people. It is our belief that every level of government has a role to play, and now more than ever, local government can step up and take the lead. This bill is an example of smart and effective local leadership. By setting a minimum work week of 30 hours for building service workers, this bill will establish a local industry standard that helps to improve workers' economic security. It will mean that more workers will get health care. It will mean that more workers will get better paychecks. It will mean that more workers, like these sisters next to me, won't have to work two jobs. They could have one good full-time job and, frankly, spend more time with their families. We know that the building service work can be structured to provide full-time jobs, and I have personal experience about this in Washington, D.C., where a similar law came into effect in 2017. With that law, 475 previously part-time workers became full-time in buildings covered by our collective bargaining agreement shortly after the law was implemented in D.C. The change was astounding. Workers gained health care and received a monthly increase of between $300 and $900 more a month because they went full-time. Building service workers in Montgomery County deserve the same opportunity. We also know that this bill will reduce turnover in the buildings that it covers. We know that more part-time workers have a higher rate of turnover, 37% according to our statistics and our research of part-time workers turnover as compared to 13% of full-time. We ask all of you to stand with the workers and the janitors and the cleaners of Montgomery County, and please support this bill in order to give our families and these sisters and all the thousands of workers that we represent a good full-time job. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to move on to Group B. Christopher De Lorenzo, Leo Gertner, Brian Folger, and Kamolika Das. We'll begin with Christopher De Lorenzo. Press the button, please. Thank you.
Oh, great.
It's
Okay.
done.
Good afternoon, Madam President, council members. Thank you for the opportunity to testify this afternoon. My name is Chris De Lorenzo. I'm representing the Greater Bethesda Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like to talk a little bit about the impact that this bill would have on me and people like me. I am a PhD student at Georgetown University, and I work at Capital Concierge as a part-time on-call concierge. And I'm working to support myself while I finish my degree. And I'm not in a position to work full-time because I have a dissertation to write. So I just want to make clear that, I want to finish this degree so that I can contribute to my community. And this bill would make it impossible for me to work part-time in my current capacity. So I'm urging the council to vote no on this bill. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Leo Gertner, please press the button at the base there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President Navarro, members of the Montgomery County Council for the opportunity to submit testimony today. My name is Leo Gertner. I'm a staff attorney at the National Employment Law Project. NELP is a nonprofit, nonpartisan research and advocacy organization specializing in employment policy. We're based in New York with offices in Washington, D.C. and throughout the country. We partner with federal, state, and local lawmakers on a wide range of workforce issues, including minimum employment standards. We testify in strong support of Bill 1219 as a high cost of living county and a high cost of living state. Montgomery County workers must work extremely hard to survive and sustain their families. That challenge is made worse when they are not scheduled to work enough hours to bring home paychecks that cover their basic costs and that deprive them of health benefits. Involuntary part-time hampers the goal of creating an equitable and sustainable economy for all workers. Research has shown that Montgomery County lags behind other comparable markets in terms of the proportion of industry workers at full-time hours. Insufficient and unreliable hours cause income volatility for workers and therefore instability for families. Meanwhile, Montgomery County boasts a competitive real estate market that can easily absorb the modest labor cost increases that the bill would cause. A mere 2 cents per square foot per month. The savings to the Montgomery Cares program and its employers due to reduced turnover costs and increased productivity more than justify these changes. We believe this bill provides a reasonable and equitable way to fix that for a portion of the building maintenance workforce in the county in a way that is manageable and even beneficial for employers and the county. We urge the council to approve the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Folger.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Folger. I'm the chairman of Folger Pratt. We are a Montgomery County-based real estate investment and development company. We've been in business for 55 years. I was counting up, I think we've developed or owned about 24 office buildings here in Montgomery County, but we are also doing work all over the region and in California and Utah. I'm also a member of AYOBA, and I want to endorse everything that Marilyn Balcom had to say. I thought the points she made were relevant and important. This bill that you're considering will result in increased operating costs for the buildings that are being targeted, putting further pressure on rental rates and occupancy costs in a county. Rising rents and or rising expenses lead to a competitive disadvantage for the few properties that are being targeted by this legislation. Those higher costs, increasing the minimum work week to 30 hours, if passed, we try to pass through to our tenants, but the impact that has is that can affect their decisions and choices as to where they locate. We project that the bill would add approximately 10 to 15% to our cleaning costs and also increase our utility expenses because the buildings have to be lit and ventilated later in the night. These buildings and these tenants will be facing increased costs of occupancy with no change in services, amenities, or building features or condition. As a company that operates in multiple jurisdictions throughout the D.C. and Maryland area, we're aware of the choices that tenants make and how they make those decisions. As an example, we purchased the Discovery Building and now the Aventa Towers. And gratefully, we were able to sign a lease recently with Children's Hospital for 140,000 square feet, which we're very pleased with. But we are now working very hard to lease the balance of that building, of a 550,000 square foot building. And in the face of increased operating expenses, that becomes more difficult. We're doing that in a county with an office vacancy rate of nearly 17%, and the suburban Maryland job market is as weak as we've ever seen it, accounting last year for only about 8.5% of the total job growth in the D.C. area, as opposed to its historical norm of about 25%. Lower operating expenses and the overall cost of occupancy are very important factors to prospective tenants who could elect to lease space in another building in our area or in another part of our region. A time of weak job growth and weak office market is not the time to increase our costs and negatively impact our competitive position. Thank you.
Thank you. Kamalika Das.
Council President Navarro and members of the Council, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Kamalika Das, and I'm a policy analyst at the DC Fiscal Policy Institute. DCFPI is a nonprofit organization that promotes budget choices to address DC's economic and racial inequities through independent research and policy recommendations. I'm here today to express DCFPI's strong support for this bill. In 2016, DC passed a very similar Building Services Act that requires employers to provide minimum hours to building service employees. The majority of the work must be delegated to employees who are guaranteed a minimum of 30 hours or more. This bill also covers net office spaces with a minimum of 350,000 square feet of rentable space. Since 2016, this bill has had zero or minimal impact on DC's office market, evidenced by the fact that DC's office market continues to thrive. Overall office vacancy rates declined from the end of last year to the first quarter of 2019, currently 13.3%, with nearly 4 million square feet set to deliver in 2019 alone. If we take a longer view, there's been a slight uptick in the vacancy rate since 2016, but the general consensus is that this increase is due to an increase in supply rather than a decline in demand, a sign that developers are still looking to build in DC. This is further emphasized by the fact that new leasing activity has been particularly strong. In the first quarter of 2019, nearly 1.66 million square feet of new leases have been signed, well over the 10-year quarterly average. To quote the DC Business Improvement District 2018 report, development interest in downtown DC was at near record levels with 17 projects under construction. Investment interest was also very high, with near record investment in all classes of office buildings. It's also important to note that given the 350,000 square feet minimum requirement, this bill would only impact 34 buildings in Montgomery County, not smaller buildings or small retailers. For comparison, WeWork's expansion at Metropolitan Square was the largest expansion in DC in the past 5 years and was less than 118,000 square feet. DC's City Hall, the John A. Wilson building where I spend a lot of my time, is less than half this size. An analysis of DC's Maryland suburbs shows that small and mid-sized tenants have been making a large portion of new leases. The analysis further states that Montgomery County's declining vacancy rate trend should quote-unquote continue as the desire for suburban and urban infill locations shows no sign of slowing. While this bill would have significant positive impact on employees whose weekly hours are increased from 20 to 30 hours per week, the increase in costs to building owners are minuscule. The estimated increase costs, I'm sorry, can I have 10 more seconds?
Finish your sentence.
Okay.
Please.
Is only 2 cents per square foot. So basically, this additional cost is 0.05% of the total $40.40 per square foot, or 1/2000th of their monthly costs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we do have a light. Councilmember Jawando.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you, everyone, for your testimony. Mr. Folger, good to see you. I used to work in the Discovery Building. Keep leasing it out, please. Do the best you can. Do you have DC property that's similarly situated?
We don't have
Office build. Okay, I didn't.
You press your button so we can hear you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, we don't have office space. We have multifamily.
So we couldn't compare the cost, but and then to Mrs. Das, is that right, Ms. Das? The increase seen in DC, you said it was minimal, and actually you think it's more of a supply-demand issue than it is related to the cost of increasing pay for the employees. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here today. All right, so we're now on to item number 11. 10? 10. There's an 11 here. This is a public hearing on Bill 13-19, County Property Disposition Reuse Analyses. This bill would modify the procedures for disposition of county property, require the executive to submit a reuse analysis to the council, and generally amend the county law regarding disposition of county property. A GO committee work session is tentatively scheduled for Thursday, June 27th. Persons wishing to submit additional material for the council's consideration should do so before the close of business, June 24th, so that your views can be included in the material which staff will prepare for the committee's consideration. We have one person signed to testify, Mr. Assant.
Good afternoon. Greg Assant, Department of General Services, testifying on behalf of the county executive. Bill 1319 would modify the procedures for disposition of county property and require the executive to submit the reuse analysis to the county council. The county executive was a co-sponsor of the amendments to the county's disposition of real property regulations in 2012. The amendments from 2012 obligate the county executive to provide pertinent information to the county council when seeking to surplus county-owned real estate. As a council member, the county executive co-sponsored the legislation to ensure transparency and a higher level of scrutiny when considering the disposition of public land. The county executive supports Bill 1319 and the amendments to the regulations as they further promote transparency. As you have noted in the analysis from the Office of Management and Budget, there is little or no cost associated with Bill 1319 as the information is prepared as a matter of course. As such, the county executive has no concerns with the operational impacts of the bill or providing the reuse analysis for future property disposition matters. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that brings our public hearings to an end. And so now I do have a proposed closed session to discuss appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom it has jurisdiction, pursuant to Maryland Code State Government Article 3-305B1I. The topic is Planning Board appointment. Is there a motion? Moved by Councilmember Reamer. Is there a second? I'm sorry, Councilmember Hucker. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you, and we'll be in closed session right next door.
Focus on, your health and spend time with your family. And Steve looked at me and said, I've got a job to do.
He had a kind and giving heart and was an amazing listener. He would oftentimes make his rounds and stop by just to see how you were doing. He inspired so many of us as he fought this devastating disease, which he did so with dignity and grace. And this year, when the council recognized ALS Awareness Month, it was evident how profoundly Steve's battle touched the council family.
I have a chief of staff